Doctors for 10 to 14 years practice 3 to 5 hours a day. Average income, $192,000. Pilots, 1,500 hours to get your commercial pilot's license. Usually takes about 2 years. They make on average $160,000. Welders take 7 months to 2 years practicing 4 to 5 hours a day. Average income, $47,000. Hairstylists go 1,000 hours to get their license. On average, make $27,959. How much are you practicing? How much are you practicing? That's right, Alan. We're talking about practice here, okay? How much are you practicing what you're saying and how you are saying it to property owners before you get on the phone? Or are you using the times that you're live speaking to somebody in your community, a property owner, and you're using that time to practice and get better at building your skills? I am telling you, if you want to build $1 million skills, a millionaire skills, become that unbelievably powerful real estate investor, you have to practice what you say and how you say it. You have to practice it because that's what developing skills is all about. It goes into your subconscious. Remember this? Remember talking about this? Your subconscious mind, right? It controls everything that's going on. There's a little tube here. When you're awake, what happens, right? You've got your subconscious mind, your skills. This is where everything's getting built. Everything where you feel in flow state all the time, where you feel comfortable and confident, where you feel bulletproof, when you're overcoming objections without even having to think about it, when your tone is changing based on the communication style of the people that you're talking to, right? It's about the positive affirmations. It's about the negative affirmations. How much positive affirmations are you putting into your subconscious mind, which then lead you to taking the actions every single day to be successful in this business, right? This is so absolutely critical, is building the skills when you practice and practice and practice and practice and practice, overcoming the objections, pre-qualifying the property owners based on the condition, timeline, motivation, price, understanding how to confirm and approve everything they say, actively listening. When they ask you a question, you answer the question and then ask a question so that you can control this conversation to see if you actually can provide service to the person that is on the other line, on that other phone, right? It's all right here. Do you have a useless attitude or a useful attitude? It all goes into the subconscious mind, right? What are the positive affirmations? What are the positive affirmations that you're putting in there so that you can develop the skills, so that you can take the actions to be successful every single day in this business? I know you got this. I know you got this, but it is developing the skills, and in this transitioning market, from seller's market to buyer's market, it is critical that you build the skills that are required to be successful. All right? We can't just lock up any deals anymore and put them out there and sell them. We have to go out there. We have to negotiate. We have to be brutally honest with the property owners so that they understand what their property value is actually at. Right? Let's talk about buyers. That's why we're here. Let's talk about where are the buyers now. All right? I'm going to give you 5 ways to find the top buyers. And I'm gonna get into my computer here and literally show you how to find these top buyers. This is what we're doing in our business so that we continue to sell our deals for really strong amounts, really big deals still, and these are some of the transitions. You're going to have to get nitty gritty. You're going to have to get into this thing. You're going to have to go aggressively and pick up the phone and have quality conversations, not only with the sellers, but also with the cash buyers. Because a cash buyer right now is worth its weight in gold. I am telling you, this is normal business. This is what we had to do in 2016, 17, 18, some of 19, right? We've been really, really, really soft on this the last couple of years because the fact is there was just a supply and demand issue. Now the supply's up, right? And the demand's down. So you got to find the active cash buyers in your marketplace to be able to continue to grow your business. Real estate goes in cycles. Typically, it's 5 years of growth, 2 years of flattening out or decreasing a little bit historically. Now, if you look at all the values, it kind of goes up and up and up and up and up over time. typically, except for the crash, right? But typically if you've been in real estate a long time, you know that there's usually 5 years where it's really, really, really exciting, and then 2 years where it's kind of like, oh, we need to really build our skills. We really need to get nitty gritty with this. So number one, right here, I want you to go, let's jump into the computer. I want you to go to Redfin, right? And once you're in Redfin, I want you to go, so put in whatever city you're in. We're in Phoenix, so I want you to go to buy, and I want you to go to recently sold. Okay, and so we're going to go into recently sold. When you go to recently sold, it automatically shows you the properties that sold in the last 30 days, which is perfect. Do not go back further than 30 days in this, okay, because there's a whole new market. Over the last 30 days, it's a whole new market. So you need to understand what people are buying and what properties they're buying, where they're buying it, and who's buying it, right? So we get into this, and we're going to get into this filter here. Okay, and what I like doing is I want to look at some of the lower priced properties. I know the median sale price here is like $500,000, so I want to take about 33% off of that and be around that $350 and lower mark, just so that I can find those properties that still can have some meat on the bones, right? I want to go, property type is a house. I want to go down, hold on, down. Why isn't this going down? This mouse is not moving. Okay. I am stuck here, guys. I don't know why this isn't. Yeah. Well, let's try this again. All right, let's try this again. We'll go to the filters. We're going to go house. We're going to try to scroll this thing, and it is not scrolling. So I don't know what's wrong with this mouse. Huh? Refresh it? All right. Sorry for the technical difficulty here, guys. That is annoying to all ends. Let me go back to Redfin and start this over. Get into Phoenix, search. We're going to buy. Okay, allow. Maybe we need to do that. Close. Okay. Go to recently sold. Go to the filters. Go to houses. And it's... there. It says see the homes at the bottom. No, it scrolls down. It scrolls down. Anyway, guys, yeah, sorry about that. It is, for some reason, there is no scrolling down on this thing. But if you scroll down, you could put in keyword search. I want you to put in the keyword search investor. It's going to pull up a bunch of different properties. Then you look at those properties. It's going to show you who the buyer's agent was on those deals. I want you to Google that. I wish I could show you this, but I don't know what's going on with this computer. But you go all the way down, and it'll show you who the buyer's agent is on that deal. Literally copy and paste it, search Google, and boom, you've got the agent that is representing the cash buyer for these ugly houses. You want to find the ugliest houses that are on that list. But typically when you put in that investor, it's going to be rough houses. There you go. Oh, you got it. Okay, perfect. Here we go. Good. All right, so we're going to go here. We're going to go back to 350. All right, we're going to scroll down here. Sold within the last month. Fantastic. Thank you, Aaron, for fixing that. We're going to put in investor. Investor. Boom. And we got 12 homes here. Look at this. Look at this. So now you've got this property here. I want you to scroll down right here, bought with this guy right here. I am going to Google this number, and I'm going to find him. There's his number right there. Boom. I'm going to call him up. I'm going to say, hey, listen, I saw that you represented an investor to buy this property. I wanted to see if you had, if your investors were looking for more unbelievable deals, right? Go through the agent that is representing these investors. It's so powerful, I'm telling you. So go through that, and then you're just going through all of them. You just go through absolutely every single one of them that looks. Look at this one. This one looks rough. This is perfect, right? Investor opportunity. I'm going to go here. I'm going to Google Jordan here. I'm going to get his info. We're going to call him up. We're going to have a conversation with him. We're going to add him to our cash buyer database. We're going to sell properties to them. It's all right there. That's all free. It's all right there in Redfin. You just keep going and calling every single one of them and add them to your cash buyer database. All right? Next, number 2 is, oh boy, I got to get back logged in here.
Oh, the joys of live.
This is the joys of live here. With
Your team is just working so hard. They need
yeah,
to
the team is, yeah. I think I got this password right. We'll see. Boom. Okay. Use here. All right. They're already in there. So Jackie here is probably logged in, my lead manager. You're going to go to the list search. All right. We're going to allow this. Hopefully she doesn't try to log back in. We will see. We're going to go Phoenix. Boom. We're going to search it. Down, and when you do the search, it's going to remove the quick search, the quick filter here. And we're going to open up this quick filter again. We're going to go to the cash buyers. All right, we're looking at cash buyers here. Now we're going to filter from here. All right, and listen, batch leads has all of the information you have. If you don't have batch leads, it's a crime. It really is, because this tool right here, they're coming out with 3.0. It's going to be absolutely bananas, but it's got everything. All right, so I'm going to go to cash buyers, and I'm going to go purchase the cash purchase. Yes, I'm going to go the last 4 weeks. All right, last 4 weeks. I'm going to go with exclude properties where the mailing address and property address are the same, right? We want these to be investors. We don't want these cash purchases that are people just buying them to live in there. And then I'm going to go over here. I got 305. Right? Now, not all of these are going to be cash buyers that we're going to sell our deals to, because a lot of these properties look like they're in pretty good condition. But then you can look at some of these ones that look a little bit rougher. I'm just trying to eyeball them and see which ones are. Hold on, let me get rid of this and get this guy in there. Get the details, and this one. Oh, that's not the one I wanted. This is the one I wanted. Details. Well, Open Door bought this one, so get rid of them. They just got a big old judgment. Let's go to this one here. Let's find an ugly house. Let's find a real rough one. These are all... Batch puts the real nice ones up front here. Linger, Open Door. Open Door is still going bananas. But you can get these are all cash purchases, last 30 days. Here, let's see what's going on here. Oh, that sold for $8.5 million. That's not a good one. Anyway, go through these and find the properties that look rough, and then just start. Here's a great one. Here's good. So these ones here where you see they're kind of a crazy name. Those are going to be your hedge funds. Those are going to be your hedge funds. And then you get into the MLS and you look at when they bought these properties. You've got the agent information here. You can go and plug this address in and find out who the buyer's agent was, and that's how you reverse engineer. Let me copy this. Let's go back into Redfin. Let's go into here. Let's go see what happened here with this deal. And you see, boom. Oh, it's another Open Door. Jeez Louise, they're buying everything here. That is crazy. But that's how you find the hedge funds. And then you reverse engineer and you find the agents that way. Got it? And when you get the agents, then you go and you find out what the buy box is for the hedge funds. And then just keep going through these properties. This 305, I'm not going to do it all there. Next step 3 is we're going to get hard money lenders. Listen, hard money lenders they have all the cash buyers. That's who they lend to. They've got their top buyers that are still buying right now. What you do is you literally Google hard money lenders and your state. You go down and you start searching all of these lenders, right? And you start calling them all up and say, hey, listen, I've got a phenomenal deal. I need a buyer for it. Do you have somebody that's buying right now that would be interested in this property? You do the lending. You have the relationship. I can send you all the details, but can you connect me with your cash buyer database, with your database, so that we can get these deals sold, right? They still need inventory to lend on, right? So if you're bringing them deals, not only could they mark it up a little bit, which some of them do, some of the smaller groups, they'll mark it up $5K, send it out to their list and see who wants it, right? But they know who's actually buying because they're writing the loans. They're writing the loans. So that's absolutely critical. All right, step 4, and you could just pull me all the way in, Matt. Post to the real estate investing groups in Facebook. Seriously, keep posting, see who is buying, and have a conversation with them and get what their buying criteria is. We need to reverse engineer our efforts. Okay? We need to reverse engineer our efforts to be able to go and sell these deals, the right properties to the right buyers, right? If we know what to target, then we're not just shooting at everything that we used to. We can really laser focus in and find the properties that are the most desirable for people and what they want. All right? And then the last one is your title company. You got to talk to your investor-friendly title companies and see who is closing deals. Who's closing deals? All the deals go through the title company or closing attorney. So have a good conversation with them. Really build that relationship up so that they refer you to all of their cash buyers. All right? So they'll give you a couple of their top cash buyers, and these are the people that you talk to, find out what they want, reverse engineer it, and get your deals sold. All right, that's the 5 ways to go out there and find the people that are actually closing on the deals right now. I apologize for the delay on Redfin, but we got that figured out. The other one that you can do with the keyword search in Redfin that I also like is you can go in there on recently sold. You can go into here in the filters and you can put as
Redfin works on Google, not
as is. It doesn't work on Safari. Got it. Redfin does not work on Safari apparently. Okay, so there you go. So that is the way to do it. You just scroll all the way down in that filter in the comments section and make sure that you put in as is or investor. Do both of them and do different searches. It'll pop up different properties and reach out to the agents that represented the buyers that are buying those properties. Got it? Awesome. Awesome. Woo! That was tough sledding there for a little bit, but it's a live show, so that's what we're doing with. We're here in Rafael Cortez's office, our new office. We're going to give you a sneak peek here in about 10 minutes. Alejandra's going to jump on here live and show you what we've got going on. It's wildly exciting what this show is going to be here starting next week, and I am really excited to show you guys that. So we're going to get a little bit of sneak peek from Alejandra on what that looks like. She's in there putting it all together right now. Welcome to the Ugly Houses Big Checks show. Listen, we're going to give you the best instruction here. We're going to answer your questions. We're going to celebrate your successes. And in the comments section, you need to let everybody know where you live and do business. This is your networking event of the day. Okay? You need to squad up with the people that understand what you're doing, because when you go out there in the general public and you're talking to family and friends and loved ones and you're excited about wholesaling real estate, you're excited about being a real estate entrepreneur, they will look at you with dead eyes. They will look at you and they will not understand what you are saying. They're going to think that you're speaking a different language. So squad up with people that have a similar brain to your own. All right? Awesome. Rafael Cortez is not here today. He is out of town. So I've got Kenny on the 1s and 2s here giving us the comments. So be good to Kenny. Kenny is my social media director, and he is awesome. And we're going to rock and roll. So what do we have so far, Kenny? Okay, we'll do some wins. Michael Fisher, look at this. Made contact with my first cash buyer yesterday. They're planning on targeting off-market sellers, so they are excited that I contacted them to bring them off-market deals. Congratulations. Here we go. Awesome. Jose, going on my first appointment with a motivated seller today in Palm Springs, California. Nervous, but I'm going. Wish me luck, guys. TTP. Excellent, Jose. Listen, This is how you start. This is how you start building that momentum. This is how that train starts inching along the tracks, inching along, start building it up, building it up. Lead generation is the engine of our business. So I am so excited that you are now in the conversion stage. Remember, there's 3 parts to the business right here, right? We've got number 1, lead generation. We got 2, conversion. This is where Jose's at right now. And 3, we've got exit strategy. Guys, this is it. Strategy. There we go. This is all the business is. Exit strategy. Let me get that out of there. Actually put an S there instead of some weird thing there. There you go. Exit strategy. Lead generation, conversion, exit strategy. Jose is in the conversion. That means that he did his lead generation, which is phenomenal. Go out there and get that deal done. Now remember, in the conversion part of this business, there's 3 parts to that, right? Pre-qualifying. This is a skill, guys. This is what I'm going back to. Practice what you say and how you say it. Pull the condition. Pull the timeline. Pull the motivation. Pull the price. Matt, can you put up the 4 pillars, please? The 4 pillars of pre-qualifying. Every single seller, every single time. Do it in that order. Property condition, timeline, motivation, price, right? That is going to tell you, are they ready to sell this property? And I'm telling you, timeline is the one. Timeline is the one that is going to tell you how fast you're going to move, right? And really pull that out of them. Really understand. Hey, listen, we typically close within 30 days. Are you good with getting your money for this property in 30 days from now? Yes, I would. I want it in 2 days. I want it today. I'd sell it yesterday. Those are the things that you're listening for, right? So go really focus on that. The second part of that is lead follow-up. Stop going and hunting and not doing the gathering. You got to do both. You can't just live off the meat. You need some grains. You know what I mean? Like, you need to be able to, yes, get those leads, but then you have to follow up with them and follow up with them and follow up with them. It's really tough for a lot of people. A lot of people just are like, I don't want the disappointment of knowing that it's not a real deal, not a real lead. I feel comfy and cozy being busy, not productive. Be productive, not busy. Do the lead follow-up. Do the lead follow-up. Get them on the phone. 80% of lead follow-up takes 30 seconds because they don't answer. So you leave a voicemail and you text them, right? And you're just planting seeds and making sure that you're staying in front of everybody. And then the last part is your offer presentation. What is their goal? What objections do you have to overcome, right? How much research have they done? Right? All of those things. We talked about it with Ryan Thornton, my acquisition manager, a couple weeks ago. What's their goal? How much research have they done? That's 2 powerful questions that you need to know before you go on that appointment. As you're doing your lead follow-up, as you're making sure and you're building that relationship, you're building that trust. So critical. So go out there, Jose. I went on a little rant there, but I think it's important to know. Good. Matt Miller had a deal close last week, 5 minutes in a house, and was able to connect the guys who had it locked up to a buyer and make $5K for my time. Not a bad hour. Well, technically, not a bad 5 minutes. It looks like you make $1,000 a minute, according to the math. That, I'm not, an engineer, but I feel like 5 minutes for $5K, you're doing the right things. That is awesome. Congratulations. George, my 17-year-old just locked up his first wholesale this past 29th. I just hope we can find a buyer with the house prices dropping. First, I'm going to celebrate, and then I'm going to talk about this. I want to dissect this a little bit, George. George, if you could, and Kenny, just keep an eye on it. George, I'd love to know what your son's name and give him a shout out if you're comfortable with that. But incredible. 17 years old, locked up a deal. 17 years old. That means a 17-year-old had the confidence to have a conversation with a property owner and convert that into a signed agreement. All right? Now listen, there's no hope in this. You know, don't leave it to hope. I hope that this happens. Go do it. Be relentless with it, because you can't lose in these situations. Maybe, and I'm not saying with George, but maybe you locked it up too high. Now you know what you need to lock it up for. But that also gives you the opportunity to work on your skills of getting a price reduction. Like, every part of this adds to that subconscious, to your skills, which makes you a more powerful business owner, more powerful, like, professional real estate investor, right? Like, it's just so exciting that a 17-year-old is taking action. There's people on here that are 30, 28, 25, 47, 53 watching this show right now that are afraid of picking up the phone. This should give you inspiration that if a 17-year-old can do it, so can you. If I can do this, you certainly can. I'm telling you. For real, for real, for real. So.
We got about 57 people say they want to see the office. They want to come into the office.
57 people want to come into the office?
Yeah.
I love it.
Already, so
Let's throw it to Handra. Let's see it. That's fantastic. Hey!
Hey,
Awesome.
everyone. Hey, I don't know how to flip the camera.
But just do your thing.
All right, guys. Here is the office.
Look at that. That's my dad there. That's awesome.
Working hard.
He's scared.
Working really hard.
Oh, I love it. I love
Can you
it.
hear us?
There they go. Oh, she's trying to switch it around. There we go. My dad's helping putting together the furniture. That's fantastic. He's looking good.
We got the bookkeeper.
We've got, there's my mom. There she is, doing the books, by the way. Make sure you do your books.
We're going to go into
Pay your
the
taxes.
studio.
Stay profitable. And this is going to be Matt's domain. This is the big studio.
Huge LED wall. Empty right now,
Awesome.
but it's going to be filled up.
Awesome. Thank you, Handra.
Bye.
That is great. That's going to be a big studio, guys. We're very excited about it. It's going to be exciting. On Mondays, we're going to do meetups before Wholesale Hotline with Pace and Jamil whenever they're in town. I'm certainly going to be there each week, and it's going to be incredible. We're going to be doing this show there. We're going to be doing Millionaire Before 30 there. It's going to be absolutely incredible. So stay tuned. We're putting a lot of work into it and trying to. We want to be the best show ever on real estate investing. So that's what we're working hard for. And it doesn't happen without you guys. We love all you guys. We're doing this all in support and love for you guys. So thank you for being on here. And if you're watching this later, thank you for participating. And if we've earned your trust for hitting that subscribe button and that like button, that is incredible. And that really fuels us. So we're excited to do that. Are the 5 ways in order of best importance? No. Listen, it's not an either or, it's an and. Do them all, right? Do them all. Do Redfin and batch leads and title companies and Facebook post and hard money lenders. That's what you need to do right now, especially if you've got a deal that you've got locked up and you're hearing crickets when you've put it out there to your regular buyers. You need to get on the phone. It's going to be a fist fight for a while, at least till the end of the year. Maybe not, but it's going to be. You need to go out there and find those cash buyers, because what happened is in a lot of these major markets is there's going to be a reduction in the prices. You know, all the prices were going bananas, and it just hit a threshold. And interestingly enough, interest rates dipped. Matt, will you put up that chart that I had prepared? It's interesting that on a $500,000 mortgage here, it was up at $2,900, and now it's getting back down to like $2,600. And they're trying to figure this thing out. They're trying to make sure that the interest rates don't go too hard, because what happens is, let me explain this to you. So when a recession, a real recession happens, like it did in 2008 and that whole mess until 2011, they reduce the interest to kind of get the economy going back again. The issue is, if there is a recession, that means that companies aren't making as much money, which means that there's more unemployment. And if there's more unemployment, or if people are fearing that they're going to lose their jobs, they don't move. But guess what? like the recession is a great thing, and I don't even think we'll see how nasty it gets, but it's perfect for us because all of these property owners that have these ugly houses, get rid of them. They're like, I got to get rid of it now. The sky is falling. I can't deal with this stress anymore. This tenant is finally out of there. We finally got the probate through. We inherited this property. I've had this property vacant and I was going to fix it up, but now I'm not going to do it. Right? It is perfect for our business. Real estate agents, if you're a real estate agent out there, you better convert to wholesaling. I'm telling you, it is going to be a bloodbath. Mortgage officers, loan officers, any of you that are in that part of the business, you better learn how to find off-market ugly houses. I am telling you, if you don't, you better find another industry. I'm serious. I mean, it is going to be an absolute bloodbath. One, because there's so many people that joined over the last 2-3 years. And two, there's just not going to be as many sales. There's just not going to be as many sales on the market. Off the market, though, baby, woo! Time to shine. Time to shine. It's going to be absolutely incredible. It's going to be absolutely bananas. So if you have a loved one, seriously, I'm being like this has like nothing to do with building this audience or anything like that. This is like straight from my heart. If you have a family member, a friend, somebody that you know, somebody that you care about that is a real estate agent and doesn't have a well-established business or a loan officer, you need to get them to watch this channel. Like for real. For real. You're going to save their financial future because it's going to get really, really, really tough out there. If you haven't have a well-established 5-10 year business and you're getting a ton of referrals still and you can still survive during this time as a real estate agent and a lender, I'm telling you, get them on in this channel and turn them on, and they'll kiss you straight on the mouth. They will kiss you straight on the mouth once they get going and understand that you saved them for real. Anyway, Nathan, big shout out to Nathan. He's been working his list for 6 months by text. He offered 160, but they countered at 185. He said no, but a week later, seller said he would take 165, and he locked it up. Congratulations, get that deal sold. As much effort as you put into the sellers, you got to put into the buyers now. Yeah, get it going. Awesome. 7,000. He's going to make 7,000. Awesome. 7,000 at 17 years old. I mean, that's like a bazillion. That's like a bazillion. You know what I mean? I remember, I would mow the lawns and I get like $20, right? And that was like, I'm balling out. That's a little gas money. That's a little Blockbuster. You know what I'm saying? They don't know about that Blockbuster. A little bit of Blockbuster and chill with the high school girlfriend. There you go. Drew, can you talk about the proper sequence of follow-up with cold, warm, and hot leads? Absolutely. You need to have, so I kind of strange that I have it on a manila folder, but I had a red folder like this, Drew, and it was, I literally put on there hot, right? And I would have all of my leads printed out. And I don't have my super custom CRM that I usually have in the studio because we're not in our studio, but it's basically Matt, can you pull it up on Amazon? Just the folders that I use for the CRM, you know what I mean? And so what I would do is I would literally write out my leads. There's a lead sheet that you can download, and you need to download it if you don't have it at ttpinsider.com. ttpinsider.com. You can go and get the lead sheet. As you're talking to people, you're filling out this lead sheet. It's going to keep you focused on what questions to ask and how to get and how to stay organized with how they respond. And then I just put it in there. I didn't have a formal CRM. I didn't keep it in the computer. I didn't trust it. I wanted to have it in front of me. I was obsessed. Luke Rodfold, who was my first acquisition manager in a sense, who I trained in this business, he would literally tape them. He still does. He tapes these leads on his wall so that they don't escape him. That's your hot leads. This is your stalker list. It's your stalker list. You're going after these properties. They do not escape you. You got to call them every single day. Okay. If they're a hot lead, and a hot lead is somebody that has made the decision they're going to sell, and their timeline is they're going to sign with somebody in the next 7 to 10 days. Seriously. So you've got them in there. You're like, oh my gosh, this is my conversion. You know, when you wake up in the morning and you say to yourself, who's going to sign a contract today? Who's going to sign a contract? There it is. The Pendaflex. There it is. I had that, and it has days 1 through 31. Today is the 3rd, so I'd pull out the 3rd, number 3 on the little box thingy, pull it out. I look at my leads and I call through all those leads. Boom, done. Right. So hot leads, you got to get on them. You got to really reach out. Now, warm leads are people that have made the decision. They've just got a longer timeline. So you want to touch base with them at least once a week. All right. And your cold leads are people that have ugly houses. And they said that they're kind of want to sell, but they haven't been really there. They're like, well, I might fix it up, or I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, or they're dragging their feet, or they don't really respond. You want to talk to them at least. You want to reach out to them at least once a month. There you go. Can of corn. Caught myself with that. There you go. Can you find cash buyers from calling for rents on Zillow? Absolutely. You just got to see if they're buying right now. You can call for rents and see if they're buying, adding to their rental portfolio. You can go to, it used to be Go Section 8. Let me see. Go Section 8 is now something else, though. It's a different website now, I believe. Affordablehousing.com, I think is what it is. And it has, let me see if that's right. It used to be Go Section 8. But I think it's affordablehousing.com, and it has, let me see if it has it here. I'm literally pulling it up as we talk, and let me see if it still has the owner's name and info on here. Yeah, it does. So look at this. So you go to affordablehousing.com and you just type in whatever. For some reason, it pulled up San Jose, California. I'm not exactly sure why, but you call up Bert here. They have the name right here, typically of the owner or of the landlord, but a lot of times it's the owner. So then you just call up Bert and you have a conversation and see if he's buying right now. See if he's selling any property. See if any of the properties that he's selling, right? These are people that we want to talk to and have a good conversation. Hey, Bert, I just pulled up your house here on Affordable Housing. I've got a house in that area, and you could do this by zip code, I'm sure, or at least city. I pulled up your house in San Jose. I've got a property in San Jose that's off market. I think it'd be a great rental for you. I just want to see if you're in the market right now to buy something. That's simple, right? Affordablehousing.com. Their numbers are right there. Give them a call. It costs you nothing. You don't even have to pay the 12 or 14 cents for skip tracing. Got it? C. Dixon, how many times do you follow up with a seller who doesn't like your offer? It depends. Here's why I say it depends. Is it a real lead? Is it a real lead? Do they actually have they made the decision that they are going to sign the deed over to somebody else in the next 30, 60, 90 days, right? Because what happens is we start chasing people, C. Dixon, that, yeah, I'll sell at the right price. That market's gone. Get rid of them. That whole, I'll sell at the right price. I haven't really thought about it, but if, you give me an offer I can't refuse, all of that stuff, it's gone. We're not messing with that anymore. All right. We're going straight after the people that are serious. They're serious. Or listen, you've got a couple options, and we're going to be talking about this a lot more. So stay tuned. Make sure that you join us every Wednesday. In 2 weeks, I'm going to blow your face off. I'm going to blow your face off because I'm going to have Todd Toback teach us how to do novations, which is a whole different tool in the toolbox. I actually drew this up before the show because I knew we'd get here. So, right here, this is interesting, right? If you got an ugly house, like this thing is rough. You know what an ugly house looks like. It's a wholesale deal. And this is where I want you to focus. I'm going to star this. This is where I want you to focus because this is how you get the biggest checks. The fastest is right here. In wholesaling. You find an ugly house, lock it up, sell it to somebody that has cash that wants to do the renovation. You get on average $15,000. Now that might dip back down to $10,000 on average in this market because buyers are going to be able to negotiate a bit with us. But ugly houses you wholesale. If it's a dated house and their timeline isn't, they don't want to trade potential equity for speed and convenience because that's what happens here. That's what happens here. What happens here is speed and convenience. They want speed and convenience. They just want to get rid of it. They'll trade equity. Okay. Now here, it's a dated property. This is like grandma's house. This is like your old aunt's house. This is like they have, or it's like a tired landlord that's bought this. They've had it for a while, but it's in good rental shape. It's in decent shape. It's a dated property. We're going to be talking about how to do novations. It's going to blow your face off. 2 weeks. Stay tuned. It's going to be absolutely bananas. Reason it's 2 weeks, we want to have the studio set up. I'm flying Tata, and it's going to be crazy. Anyway, so you're going to learn all about novation in 2 weeks. It's going to be a tool in your toolbox. But if you're just getting started, literally, if this is like your first, you haven't done a deal yet, focus here. Seriously, focus here. Novation is a little bit more paperwork, a little bit more advanced on a level. Todd's probably going to change my mind on that because he explains things unbelievable, and he's been doing it forever. He's been doing novations for 12 years or something. Anyway, if it's updated, if it's a nice, clean property, which maybe this one is, C. Dixon, then you're going to have to figure out creative financing. And creative financing is you got to see if they have a loan or not a loan. If they have a loan, then you could do a sub 2 or a wrap. If they own these properties free and clear, then you could do a creative financing. Then you just have to figure out how much they want down, how much they want a month, and for how long. That's it. Those are the 3 main things that you want with creative financing and putting those deals together. So we're gonna be expanding. I know. Listen. My business is wholesaling, but I'm expanding here with my acquisition managers. So they've got this down. They've got it all down. We're gonna be expanding here. We run into this every once in a while. Typically, the terms aren't what we're looking for, but they're gonna be. Oh boy, they're going to be. This is going to be bananas. I'm telling you, it's going to be bananas. We're going to be going through all of that. So thank you, Daniel. Daniel is literally doing this all with one camera. He's sitting there. He's focusing it in. I hope I look clear. Do I look pretty good? I look pretty good. Okay, good. There you go. Batch or prop? Batch. Brian, I am telling you, bro, here's the thing. Prop was bought by a title company, right? They're bought by a title company. So they are... it's a solid company. They've been around for forever. The old owner is phenomenal. The people that work there are phenomenal. They do a great job. Batch is investing more into into investors. You're going to see PropStream probably tilt towards agents more. We'll see. I don't know. That's just my gut, but I know what Batch is coming out with at 3.0, and it's going to blow everything out of the water. It's going to blow. I've seen it. I've been around. It's going to be ridiculous. I mean, it already has everything that PropStream has, but better skip tracing data. But it's going to be silly. Everything's going to tie into it. It's going to be great. Yep. Kevin, what do I do if a good lead doesn't have any images on PropStream or Batch? Google Maps. Just Google it. Google the address. Do the aerial view. Do the street view. Do whatever you can to get there. If you are in town, drive by. Right? If you're in town, go buy the property. That's great. If you're not in town, then see if you can have somebody swing by. But just make sure that it's a real lead. A lot of people say lead. They just mean this is a prospect. This is a potential address that I want to get a hold of the owner. A lead, this is critical, and this is critical especially if you have acquisition managers. But if you don't, if it's just you, remember, a lead is somebody that has made the decision they're going to sell the property. You are never going to convince people to sell their property. Never. We never convince people what price they should take. We tell them what price we're willing to offer. We don't tell them, you should take this. Oh, boy, you better take this. You don't know. No, we tell them this is what we're willing to, in this market, this is what we're willing to pay for this property. And then they get to make their decision, right? But you're not going to convince anybody. So make sure that the lead is somebody that actually has made the decision that they're selling this property. There's a big difference there. And I'm telling you, it took me a long time. It took me a long time to realize that. I wish somebody would have told me this 7 years ago, because I held on to these leads and I was like, oh, yes. Oh, I like threw all my leads in my bed and I'm rolling around and I'm just having fun. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to make $1 million. And like 2 of them are real leads. You know what I'm saying? So get rid of all the bad ones and keep the good ones. Chris, Hi, Brett. Love the positivity you bring. My contact rate is close to 3 to 4% of calls using Mojo. I rotate numbers every 10 to 15 minutes. Any advice on how to get a higher contact rate? Chris, it just depends. Are you using batch skip tracing or batch leads to get your data? I would find that out. I would also, you might want to look at getting phone numbers from CallRail and not Mojo. Because I feel like with Mojo, they just kind of recycle and it just kind of chews up the numbers. Like they buy a batch of it and like thousands of people use it and they kind of just chew through it. So you might want to try callrail.com. I don't remember if it's $2 or $5 a month per number or something like that, but check it out. D Hog. 2 E's, 2 G's, baby. There we go. My CallRail numbers are listing as spammers. CallRail is confused and keeps referring me to a form for my personal number. The CallRail numbers are spam. Any suggestions? Well, that just counteracts everything I just said. We've used CallRail forever. So I would just get rid of the numbers that you're using and get some new ones. I mean, it depends on how many CallRail numbers you have. So I would try to freshen it up. It also depends on what dialer you're using. Some of these dialers go up to like 10 lines. And guys, I'm telling you, it's a total waste. You're burning through way too much data. Nobody's going to answer. They're going because it's coming up as spam because you're calling too fast. They caught on. The call tools and the other ones that have 10 lines that you could do, it's not going to work. 2 to 3 lines maximum. De Niro. I love that. Hey, Brent, how do you approach a cash buyer when you don't have anything to sell them yet with enthusiasm? Listen, I'll tell you this. Certainty and likability, right, with sellers and with buyers. But if you have conviction in what you're doing, if you're very excited about going out there and listen, I don't have any deals for you now, but I am literally calling every single day. I'm standing up. I'm making my calls. I'm calling on all the ugly houses. It's just a matter of time before I find a deal. When I find that deal, can I send it to you? That's what you say. Listen, remember, and maybe Matt, you could pull this up, or somebody, Kenny, you could pull it up, or somebody can pull it up. There's a certain amount of percentages of what communication is. I think like only 14 or 20% or something like that is the words we say. And a lot of it is body language and tone and energy behind it, right? So the words matter, and you need to practice your script so that it's internalized because it's the words that work. But then the whole I'll make it personal myself is the way that you use your body and your vocal first impression, right? When you're on the phone, that vocal first impression, your tone, your energy, your kindness, that is your body language on the phone, is your tone. And so if you're very excited about this business and you're reaching out to be of service to them, they will embrace you with open arms. They will. So just go with that in mind. That's where you want to go. Okay. 7%. 38%
vocal, like tone.
Yep.
55% visual.
Okay, so 7% is the words you say. What's the other? 38% is your tone. 55% is your visual. So if you don't have a visual because we're on the phone, it's all tone. It's all tone. It's all the energy. You know what I mean? You can fumble and stumble and bumble. Well, you shouldn't, because if you go back to the beginning of this, you should practice what you're going to say so that you're not practicing while you're live with somebody, with an actual distressed property owner. Daniel's over here scrolling Instagram. I need to move around. To keep him on his toes. Your tone of voice is critical, right? Your tone, your pacing, those things are really important, right? So just start practicing that. Awesome. A retiring landlord is giving me a chance to find a buyer for his 20 rental properties. Lydia, This is from Lydia. How do I find people that will buy a group of 20 occupied properties? That's not the first question to ask, Lydia. The question is, how much does he want for them? Because here's my experience. 99% of people that own rental portfolios want retail for the rental portfolio. They do. And unfortunately, he missed the peak. He's going to have to wait a few years for the peak, or at least a couple years for it to peak again, for real. So 20 rental properties, you need to do this. You need to go, okay, what is your biggest problem child? What's your worst property? What is your worst property? What is that one? And let me give you an offer on that one. See if I'm even in the ballpark before we start going down the line of comping all these properties and really building the long relationships here. So then you comp that, you put it in, you figure out what you want to, what you can offer on it, right? You can do that simply. Just look at Zillow. Do we have the new updated quick comp or quick offer price, Matt? It used to be at 66%. Now we're more at like 60 to 50%. Yeah, here we go. If it's under 250,000, you want to be around 60%. That's ticking down lower, actually. We're going to have to adjust this again. We're going to have to fit it in there. I'd say 55%, 40%, and 10%. Seriously. 55%. Put it up one more time. And let's just make a note to change it. 55%. 40% and 10% of Zillow. And that's it. Make it simple, Lydia. I wouldn't do a lot of homework on this. I wouldn't do a lot of effort on this. It sounds wildly exciting. I remember the first time somebody wanted to sell me this big development deal, and I threw like 3 weeks worth of effort into it. No, I wasn't even close. And then the first time somebody wanted to sell me 80 properties, I was like, oh, this is the $1 million deal. I already saw it, guys. I saw it. I saw the money in my account. I saw me closing. I saw me high-fiving everybody, all my friends and my dad and my mom giving me a big hug. And like I was running through the finish line. There was like a streamer. You know what I mean? I was like, boom, yes. And then you realize they want, 10% over retail and there's nothing in there, right? So it's exciting. I get it. This business is exciting, but make sure that you watch those emotions. Remember, emotions in this business are our most expensive liability, right? So go with the facts. Go with pre-qualifying. Give them an offer at that 55, 40, 10%. And if you're not even close, move on. And typically people that own 20 rental properties are not in a position where they want to trade a potential equity for speed and convenience. And so I just don't want you to fall into that trap, because remember, busy versus productive, right? Be productive. And productive is pre-qualifying and making sure that you're in alignment with what you can offer them, and they're in the ballpark, right? Critical. But congrats. Listen, you don't have that opportunity unless you have a conversation, and that builds to the skills. And that's incredible. So, and maybe you're going to get this deal. And I would love, nothing would make me happier, Lydia, if you come on here and it's you close this 20 deal, 20 property deal and make $250,000 or something, and it's like the best thing ever. But coaching thousands of people one-on-one in the coaching program in over 5 years, nobody's ever had it. And yeah, if anybody's had it, I'd love for them to post here and tell us about it. That'd be awesome. DeAndre, when your offers for on-market property is accepted, how do you go about having that conversation with potential buyers agents having a property contract for assignment? Same way. Just remember, you need to have it significantly under the list price. Significantly under the list price, because if it's been on the market, unless you got it like you got like an inside track, which agents aren't really allowed to do that. They can't have like pocket listings in a lot of places, so they have to put it on the market. They can't do any kind of insider homie hookup type thing, and they usually don't. They have fiduciary duty to the seller. They want to get the most for that seller. So if they put it on the market and you lock it up like day one in the market, it's going to be tough for you to know if it was a real deal if you lock it up close to the list price. Now, if it's been sitting on the market for 60, 90 days, it's at 200,000. You lock it up for what do we say for 40,000, 40% of 200,000, right? So you're locking it up at 80,000. Woo! You got a deal on your hands. You know what I'm saying? But if it's 200,000 and you're locking it up at 190, that's tough to move if it's been sitting on the market, because if it's been on the market, guys, it's been exposed to the whole human population, at least every human that has access to American internet, right? So, or at least all 340 million Americans, if they were looking in this zip code, in this city, in this neighborhood, and they said, that's too much for me to offer on that property, nobody's going to then go, oh my gosh, I can't believe this deal when you put it out there. You got to get it significantly under. And let me revert a little bit, okay? So I said 40%, and that's of ARV. So that's not fair of me to say. So if it's on the market and it's ugly, I would try to go at 50% of what they have it listed for if it's rotting on the market, if it's just sitting there, if nobody wants it. Go 50%. And I truly believe the really ugly houses that are on the market right now, that are sitting on the market, and they're trying to get a decent price for it, they're trying to get like high level price for it, are going to sell for 30 to 50% of what it's listed for. So if it's in a good area and it's a good deal and you've run the numbers and it's got a good ARV, go 50%. My man, look at this. DeAndre knows. He knows. He's been watching. He's got some reps in this game. So yeah, my offers are significantly lower, sending out about 3 to 5 offers a day. Fantastic. Awesome. Beats gone 8. As a wholesaler, do you have to double close a property on the MLS? No, I've assigned plenty of them. It just depends on, it more depends on your buyer, to be honest. If you don't want your buyer to know how much you're making, then you do the double close. If they have it in their contract that the contract is not assignable, then yes, you have to double close. But typically that happens when an agent accepted an offer, somebody, kind of pulled them around for a couple weeks, had no intention of closing, had no ability to close, and they went out and canceled on them and disappointed the owner. And they look back in the contract and they go, oh, what's this assigns thing? And then they go to their brokerage meeting once a month and they go, I don't understand what assigns is. What does this mean? And then the old guy drinking the coffee in the back with the mustache, and he's like, oh, it's those damn wholesalers out there. They're just running around, locking up deals. They got no money. They're a total menace. We should put them all in jail, right? And then he's like, oh my gosh, like, what is happening? So assigning means wholesaling? That's not real buyers? No, they're not real buyers. Oh, okay. And then the next time you come around and then they're like, oh, no assigns. Then you do double close. Was that a good enough explanation? Good. Sydney, what are some good sources to monitor inventory in a market? I love this. Well, the easiest one, Sydney, is make sure that you listen. I know everybody watching this has a family member, has a friend, has somebody that has access to the MLS. Somebody does. Somebody has an agent in the family or neighborhood or whatever. Usually they do market reports. Zillow actually does really strong. We're actually, Daniel here is editing a video that's going to go really deep dive this, Sydney. It's going to be coming out. What do you think? Next week on how to pull really, really gangster data from sources on Zillow that are kind of not easy to find. And so I kind of show you exactly how to find that. So look forward to that. I think you can Google Zillow market data and be able to pull some of that information. Let me see. It's a specific. It's not just on Zillow.com. It's a different one. I'll have to pull it up. I did the video a couple of weeks ago. So look forward to that, Cindy. But one, you just look at the Look on the MLS if you can. Realtor.com also puts out stats as well. Realtor market inventory. Let's see how that looks. Market trends for download. Yeah, they got a ton of research here. So just look into that. Just Google real estate data inventory. Here you go. All U.S. data. You can literally Google. I just literally Google. Can you put this up, Matt? I literally Googled. Let me go back. Realtor market inventory, and went down to realtor.com, real estate data, and then you've got inventory info here. And then you could do it by state, your county. And it's probably, oh, that's bananas. Oh boy. Wow. I'm going to put my foot in my mouth. Yeah. So Zillow has it more organized. Wait for that. Cool. But really all you need to know is what's the active market and what's pending, what's closing each month. Pending's really the one that you want to watch. How many deals are actually going under contract versus the actives? Cool. Good. Hey Brent, with the market shift, how far back is your team pulling comps? 30 days. 30 days. In our market in Phoenix, it changed in 6 weeks. For real. Like 10%. 10%. The interesting, if you look at, and you could pull up the stats, you can Google it, you can go appreciation state by state. If you look at Phoenix, 2020 to 2022, April 2022, we grew the values grew 44%. 40 to 44%, depends on who you're reading. 44%. You know what's crazy about this? Everybody's like, oh yeah, I'm rich now. And then it goes down 10% and they're like, oh my God, the market is terrible. This is crazy. They're still up 34%, 30%, 34%. That's crazy. 2 years ago, 2019, the house was worth $350, right? Now it's worth $550. And now it comes back down to $5. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, this is just ridiculous. You know, let's go Brandon, right? They start blaming everybody. They start going, it's the administration, it's the Congress, it's inflation, it's all these things going on. They start looking at, oh, this is recession. You know what? Did I put in a third? Did I put in the no, there was an article this morning. Really interesting. When interest rates tick down a little bit, all the newspapers start talking about how it's just a correction, right? 2 weeks ago, before I went on vacation, it was the housing bust. It's gonna be done. It's done. It's gonna go crazy. Now it's just it's gonna be a correction. You know, the industry insiders and the people that really are in the know are saying that it's not gonna be as bad as we thought. It's not going to slide as far as we thought, just because interest rates went down a little bit. It's wild. I'm telling you, it's all like the economy doesn't matter. You matter. You matter. The positive affirmations that you put into your subconscious every day that affect the skills and the actions that you take every day, that matters. Being proactive matters. Having quality conversations with distressed property owners on a consistent basis, that's what matters. Market shifts. It's always going to shift. It's always going to shift. That's why, guys, I am telling you, I've been through this. I have lost everything in the last one. I understand. I see the signs in this thing. And I'm not saying that I have a crystal ball or anything, but if you notice, I have 4 people on my team. With my resources and my experience, I could have a 50, 100 person team. I could go bananas with this thing. But guess what happens when the economy, the accordion, right? When it's going out, everything's good. When it squeezes back in, and then you got to start firing people and get rid of people. And then you got to start getting real efficient. You have a real efficient team that is proactively going out there, and everybody is making a tremendous amount of money on your team, in your company, and you're able to step out of it and still get passive income. Not truly passive. There's no truly passive income. That's a myth. But like 5-10 hours of work a week in it and still make, more than my expenses every month. That's incredible business. The whole flossing, building this big giant thing, it's not our business. You do that with things that make stuff. You don't do that in real estate. Real estate, you go after, you build a quality team that's going to keep profits at 40 to 50% for you, for growth, for developing the people. And they're getting paid double what the industry average is. It's wildly rewarding. And you're not scared when things shift. Do you get fired up? Does it wake you up a little bit? Do you learn new skills? Do you learn new strategies? Absolutely. But if you keep it small, you keep it all. And what do you want to do? What's the goal? The goal is wealth building. Great. There's a great the Millionaire Mind, right, by Harv Eker. I was talking about it on Monday, and they talk about your financial thermometer. A lot of us subconsciously have a low threshold because of we grew up in low income housing, or we didn't have a lot of resources growing up. We didn't have a lot of examples of people going out there providing tremendous value to the communities. They did great. They worked their jobs. They were hard workers. They were doing everything. Great examples of human beings. People with faith, people that have kindness and support. But just people that just didn't use their lives to go out there and earn a lot of income. So then we have this thermometer that's a low thermometer. So what happens is if our low thermometer is like $2,000 is a lot of money, $5,000 is a lot of money. When we make a $15,000 check, we feel unworthy about it. So we go and blow all the money. There it is. No, that's not it. It's not the Millionaire Mind. It's hold on, I got it here. Sorry, guys. It is right here. It is Secrets of a Millionaire Mind. Sorry, wrong word there. Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. You have this low thermometer, and then all of a sudden you have more money in your account than you ever have, and then you're like, I gotta ball out, bro. I gotta go to Vegas. I gotta go party. I gotta go get the watch. I gotta go get the shoes. I gotta go get the everything. I need people to understand how successful I am. It's an empty. That's a well. You're just digging a well. You're just digging a hole. It's so increase your financial thermometer to where when you get to what your lifestyle is, the rest of it goes to wealth building. So what we do as entrepreneurs is we win. We follow. We have beautiful brains. We go out there and we find an opportunity and we seize it, and we're convicted of it, and we put all of our efforts into it, and we have great attitudes, and we're positive, and we become magnets for everybody else. And then all of a sudden we hire way too many people because our thermometer, our financial thermometer, is too low. And we're not wealth building. We're not building assets. We're bringing on more liabilities, and we're doing it in the name of, I'm investing in my business. It's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. Take the money home and buy properties. Take the money home and buy companies, AKA stocks, AKA actual businesses. That's what's important. I'm telling you that people are going to get crushed in this thing because they get over leveraged, and they want the ego of being the boss, being the guy in the white horse, being Napoleon in the paintings, being whoever sitting on a throne type of thing. It's silly. It's not real. It's not real. It's not sustainable. So just build it up for you and your family. Put the assets away. Save the money. Buy something that's going to be long lasting and that is going to give you income and wealth building at the same time. And increase your mental thermometer. Join us every Wednesday. I'll help you do it. For real. We'll help you. Well, the whole community will help you. Everybody in the chat will help you. But it's the truth. I love you. I want you to succeed. I want you to win big time. I don't want you to go through the ebb and flow of the mental turmoil that you go through when you make a bunch of money and then all of a sudden it's gone. That's it. That's worse than never having it, is when you make it and then it disappears and you're back to where you were. So keep it. Keep the money. Be smart. Increase your mental thermometer every single day. And he talks about it in this book. I'll give you the steps right here. He talks about what to do. about how to change your mind. By constantly affirming your thoughts verbally and by taking concrete measures, you can unlearn the wrong thinking patterns bit by bit and learn how to act like a millionaire. That's what it is. And he talks about the affirmations of millionaire thinking. He talks about, I am a millionaire. I am focused on building wealth. I am focused on building wealth. I am a millionaire. I am focused on building wealth. If your thermometer is at $1 million, like real, after taxes to you, then you're gonna be really smart about your spending, because you're either investing or you're spending. So invest and build your wealth. Rant over. Good enough? 204 people. Yeah. Wow. 204 people on. That's awesome. Yeah. When you hit the like button, guys, that kind of helps us with the algorithm. When I think of the algorithm, I think of like the Matrix, like that guy that's sitting around with all the computer screens in the Matrix, and he's sitting there, the engineer or whatever they call him. And I feel like that's the algorithm. And he's like, oh, there's like over here on this, I'm going to promote that, and then more people see it, and then more people come into our world, and then we get a squad up, and we can raise funds, we can get more deals, we can find more buyers, we can find more people that are maybe 6 months, a year ahead of where you're at now that you connect with. So hit that like button. It's a long way to ask for hitting that like button, but thank you. There we go. Can of corn. We switched it up. I used to say, there you go. And now I'm going to say can of corn because it's a Midwest thing, and I think it sounds cool. Yeah, it means like easy. Jake Ryan Properties. Where is the best place to get company agreements for our employees and VAs, NDAs, company agreements, non-compete? I don't do any of that. That's like saying, where do I get a prenup for the woman that is my soulmate? It's just a weird vibe. I mean, you could do that, but you could get that from any attorney. Literally, Jake, you could get that from any attorney. I've never done that ever. And so, yeah, not a CPA, not an attorney. He said where, not what. So I get that, Jake. I don't know. I think it kind of puts you on the back foot with people. I think if you're hiring people that you're worried are going to take your leads, you're hiring the wrong people. Your job is to develop them. You know what I mean? Your job is to support them. You work for them more than they work for you. You have to be the rainmaker. So you could stop giving them leads at any time. You control that. So if you feel like your processes and procedures and leads are going to be stolen by somebody, you got to really investigate what kind of character you're thinking that you're going to be hiring. For real. Like, I know some of the bigger companies, there's some big name companies that do this a lot, but they also hire the biggest scumbags ever. And those companies know who they are. So yeah. I would just, yeah, that's up to you. And listen, it's probably smarter for you to do that from a company standpoint, but I just don't. It's just a choice. Michelle, I'm about to make an offer on a package deal for 9 ugly homes, but the seller wants more than can be offered. Yeah. Yeah. We talked about this. Not sure if I should tell agent how I got my numbers and the finding a buyer. Well, first of all, you got to get them down on, they all need, I know. Listen, Michelle, they missed it. Their properties are going to go way down because nobody's going to buy it. Let's set the record straight. I'm going to do this so that everybody just has it concrete in their mind. I'm going to do this. Okay. Who determines value? That is a crazy value. Whatever. Is it the seller? Is it the market? Is it the lender? Is it the government? Is it the agents? Which one is it? Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? Anybody want to guess? We'll start going through this. Is it the seller? No. They think they are. It's not. Is it the market? No. Is it the agent? We think it is because we read headlines. Is it the agent? No. They think so because they have huge egos and wear very fancy suits and button-up shirts, and they have freshly, what do you do to shoes? Shine them? What polish shoes. They got the freshly polished shoes, not them. Is it the lenders? Nope. Oh, let's put appraisers in there too. Appraiser. Is it them? Nope. Is it the government? Nope. It's a trick question. It's none of these. The only person that determines the value of real estate is a ready, willing, and able buyer. And guess what? These buyers right now realize that the market just went down 10% to 20%, and it's going to go that way in major markets. So if there's no buyers, there's no money. There's no money. Even if they get loans, they're responsible for paying those loans. That's a risk. It comes from the buyer. Cash buyers, they determine everything in our business. So it doesn't matter what the seller wants. You got to determine what a buyer is willing to pay for it, and then work from there. And you connect those, and that's the value that we provide. We source these deals, we package this up, we put it with a nice fancy bow for a cash buyer, and they pay us for that. That's what an assignment fee is. And so if the seller doesn't want it, you're not going to convince them. Now, is there opportunity to do maybe a creative financing? Sure. Find out if they're open to terms and if they own it free and clear. But if they're at $500 for this package and you're at $350, your buyer's at $350, which means you got to be at $330 or $340 to make 10 or 20, there's too much room there. Hater proof. Nice. I love that. See, that's a positive affirmation. No, I really do. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, the hater part is kind of like a negative part, but like hater proof. I like that. I like that. That's like, listen, I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to win. I'm hater proof. Catch my dust. You know what I'm saying? Hater proof with 2 F's. What's up, TTP fam? Do you need an LLC for each virtual state you're in? Hashtag, once again, Matt. Hashtag not a CPA, not an attorney. I will tell you this. I will tell you that I do deals in Florida with my Arizona LLC. So I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's just an Arizona, Florida thing. I don't know what that is. If we have a CPA or an attorney in the on the show here, respond. There you go. Can of corn. M1. What's your advice to handle people that call me back while I'm still on the dialer? Sometimes I pause. No, sometimes I pause to take each other times I've callbacks. Yeah. Don't pause your calls. Don't answer the callbacks. Send it right to your caller ID number that, and you're getting those calls back because you're probably using your own cell phone, which is fine. But I always had a caller ID that would go to voicemail, and then we could sift through that if they leave a voicemail, and you can go in call rail. You can have your voicemails transcribed, so you can see if it's somebody that is just curious or if they were, they don't really know why you're calling them. So you can decide if you want to call them back after that and just read it. But for the most time, it's a total waste of time because they're going to call you back and they're going to go, hey, yeah, I missed a call from you. And you go, yeah, I was actually calling about a property I believe you own. I just wanted to see if you would consider an offer on your property there. And they go, well, which one? And you're like, I'm not in front of my computer right now. I'm actually away from my office. And it's this whole thing, right? It's this whole song and dance of you have no idea. Or worse, You take the time to go and research. You're pulling up the numbers as they're calling you back, and then you're trying to talk to them, and you're trying to pull up and see which address they're doing, and then you do one of these things. I'm just pulling up your information here. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's the property on Cambridge. Yeah, I was calling about that. Right. And they're like, I don't want to sell. Click. And that whole process took you off of being proactive. And then all of a sudden you got to start up again. So then you have to go back on, you got to get back on the dialer, you got to go set it up, you got to, or you got to start dialing other people, you got to get back in the mode of being proactive. And it just, it clogs up. It's like pouring molasses all over your business. So I don't do it. That's my advice. Atoro, a good nationwide title company that's investor friendly. That's interesting. Jeremy, my disposition manager, is telling me about somebody that he had a good conversation with, and I'm going to pull this hold on. I'm going to pull this up. We text a lot during the day, so give me just a second to find this, because he talked to somebody that's nationwide, does all the stuff, and apparently is pretty good. I don't remember if he just told me about it or if he texted me about it. I'll find out. I'll text him right now. Oh, no. Here it is. Senvoy National Title. I don't know. All right. Senvoy. Can you put this on? Or maybe you could put it in the comments. It's Senvoy, CENVOYY National Title. Okay. And there's an email here of Blee, BLEE, at senvoy.com, CENVOYY.com. This guy called us off of our Investor Lift account. So I've never used them, but you asked for it. So I'm going to just give you what Jeremy has here, and you can reach out to him there. I've got his phone number, but I probably won't do it because, we don't want to totally blow them up too fast if they're not the best. So check it out. Let us know. Give us feedback. There you go. Can of corn. I can't, it's like a tick. It's like unconscious. Totally unconscious. All right. April, how do you represent yourself to the buyer's agent as an investor? Yes. I'm trying to think if you mean, April, the buyer's agent, like finding for the cash buyer that's representing the cash buyer, then we're a wholesaler. But if it's a cash or if it's a buyer's agent, well, you don't really need a buyer's agent if you're a wholesaler. So yeah, if it's the buyer's agent of a cash buyer, yeah, I find the best deals in town. The best deals in town. I would love to send you whatever we find. Would you be open to that? And what's the best way to get a hold of you? How many offers on MLS properties would you say you need to make before you have a deal? From Chris. I have no idea. That's more of a Ryan Zolan question. I don't make a lot of offers on the MLS. I'm going to more, but I'm going to build a relationship with these agents. I'm going to call them. If you haven't seen our video on Monday, Daniel absolutely crushed the editing on this video. And it's me talking to Kenny here while I'm making calls to agents and just seeing what I was trying to find out. A couple of things: how many offers they have on the property. If they don't sell this property, what are they going to do next with it? Right. And are they open to terms if they can't get a cash offer? So I was looking at all the ugliest houses that are on the market that have been sitting there for over, what do we do? 90 days, 60 days, 30 days. Yeah, 30 days. No, I think it was 60 days. I think I pulled it 60 days. Then what I did, guys, it's not rocket science. I went, okay, all the ugliest properties that are going to be totally beat up are going to be listed for under $250,000 in Phoenix. And I just kind of cut in half what the median sale price was. So I went and I put all I just searched single family houses under 250,000 active for more than 30 days. You could do it on Zillow. You really could do it on Zillow. And and then I just start calling the agents and just, Hey, just want to see if you had any offers on it. Yeah, we've had a lot of offers on it. They won't budge or whatever else. Okay, great. If he doesn't sell it, what is he going to do next with it? Oh, he'll keep it, or they've made the decision they're going to sell it or whatever else. And then are they open to terms? What does that mean? I remember being that agent. I laugh because I'm so cool now that I know what terms are. But as an agent, I had no clue. I was like, what? No, that doesn't make any sense. But they don't know what it means, and you could work it. So you could put together an email if you really want some of these properties on terms. But the issue with properties on terms with ugly houses is you're going to have to sink a lot of money into them anyway. So you're giving the price, and you can't really get cash flow from it. So it gets a little tricky. You guys will be happy to know at 2:30 today, I am getting a haircut. This cabbage is getting a little out of control. Little extra cabbage for the summer. You know what I mean? Brenda, are there additional steps to wholesaling pre-foreclosures? Just make sure that you understand when the auction date is, and if it's coming up before you can get it closed with the title company and your cash buyer can get all their funds in, then you need to get it postponed. Get that deal postponed, and get the deal postponed so that you can get it closed in time. But you have there's kind of like a end date. You got to get it closed and done and paid off before the auction date, or get them to postpone it. They don't want to foreclose. They'll work with you on getting it postponed, unless it's like a private lender that wants it. But banks don't want properties. What banks want is more money. Banks want interest. That's what banks want. So, just make sure that you understand what the auction date is. Then it's like any other deal. What questions, Horatio, Brent, what questions should we be asking title companies to make sure they are wholesale friendly and can do double close? That's it. I mean, don't overthink this. Do you guys do wholesale deals? Are you familiar with doing wholesale deals and double escrows, double closes? Do you work with investors? No, we would never do that. No. Yeah, we do that all the time. And listen, you don't even have to ask those questions. If you just go to a real estate investing group in Facebook and type in who's the best escrow officer and title company for investment deals. And then people will post. People love shouting out to their escrow officer. Or if you have a really great escrow officer, which everybody should, so let's not even say if, let's say when, they will do all of the transaction coordination. They will organize the seller. They will make it go as smooth as possible. They will let you know if any issues pop up. I mean, they're truly a member of your company. Truly, truly, truly. My experience is, and anybody that has a lot of experiences, when you start doing a lot of deals and people start asking you about your escrow and they start getting real busy, their capacity, once their capacity gets to a certain point, they kind of start missing things. So every 18 months, 2 years, we kind of switch around. But that's okay. We find really, really great talent, really great people. What's your updated cost for repairs? $40 a square foot. Keep it simple. $40 a square foot. You can go 20 to 25 bucks a square foot if it's just, kind of not the most upgraded, but it's kind of rental condition, kind of baseline. I don't know if you've ever picked out or built a new house, but when you build a new house, they come in with just the base model stuff, and it's all super cheap. It's all a bunch of carpet and beige, and it's not the best quality, and a bunch of tile that's not the best style. That's kind of the 20 to 25. The 40 is you're putting in the nicer stuff, the nicer appliances, the nicer fixtures, the nicer flooring, the nicer that's the bathrooms and kitchens and countertops and cabinets and that type of thing. It's $40. But if you're just spraying it with paint and if you're doing a open door remodel, it's 20, 25 bucks a square foot. And I don't even know if Open Door is going to be doing a lot of them. Did you see that? $62 million they got hit by the FTC for deceiving homeowners.
Isn't that just a drop in the bucket for them then?
Yeah, it might be a drop in the bucket. They also have, 1,600 listings right now, and 2 of them are pending. No, but 10% are pending. Brent, in a brief summary, how can an investor wholesale a fire damaged property? Don't overthink it. Is that brief enough? Literally, one, find out if they've already got their insurance money. Make sure that they have their insurance money. And then if they're trying to get like double dip and try to get a ridiculous amount for fire damage after they've already gotten paid for the property, then run away because they're silly. But brief summary of that, 120, depends on where you're at. If you're in California, probably $150, $170 a square foot to rebuild it. So make sure that you build that into your calculations. If you're in kind of lower price market, $100 a square foot, average markets, the Atlanta markets, the Dallas markets, the Phoenix markets, the Vegas markets, the Portland markets, some of those. Portland's a little bit higher, but $125 a square foot. And then from there, you just lock it up, like you would any other deal. Lock it up as low as possible and get it to somebody that is experienced with fire damage. I locked up a smoking deal. It was 2000. This is going to be story time. All right. This was 2018. Yep. It was 18. And totally somebody lit a fire, and it was a 2-story house, and they lit a fire in the kitchen, and it just went all the way up. And they're like, well, we want 150 for this. And we're like, we'll give you 60,000. Like, it was like, no, I think it was 60,000. And fixed up, it goes for 450. Right. So they already had their insurance money. We gave them 60,000. We ended up selling it for 95. I think we made 35,000 on it. And, oh my gosh, they put so much work into that. I couldn't imagine. I mean, the whole thing, the garage, the kitchen, it was like a hole right through the middle. It just burnt right through it, and it went into the garage. It was crazy. I looked at this thing like, you need to knock it down. Nope. They just just did what they did. Kenny's going to talk now. Oh, what are you doing?
Good.
Okay. Brent, you do great impressions. Have you thought about acting as a part-time gig? No, I'm just an expressive that really loves this business. And I know this business. I know the characters in this business. And I think one of the most delicious spices in life are ridiculous people. I really do. And there's a lot of ridiculous people in the real estate industry. And when you're around them, you could be like kind of turned off by them, or you could be like, oh my gosh, I got to be around this person more, because this is just, this person is not normal. And I like those people. So yeah.
Brent, have you ever considered doing improv?
No. Yes. So here's the thing. My oldest son, Seamus, his mom, not my wife, this is a previous relationship. She was a stand-up comedian, one of the top in Phoenix, ran all the shows. And with stand-up comedy comes a lot of improv. Right. And so those guys are on a whole different level. I mean, to do improv, you got to be really, really into. I don't think that I have that fast of a brain. I think I just have characters in my mind that I've seen in our business, so that I can do that. You know what I mean? So yeah.
There's a real estate agent, big guy, Ryan Serhant. He says like everybody should just get into improv a little bit.
Yeah.
Even just like so I did it.
Yeah.
I went and I did improv for like, I don't know, 2 months,
yeah,
2.5 months. And it makes you quick. It really stimulates the brain, gets you quick to answer, or like, not even like, even if the characters aren't there, just like thinking on your feet. So I don't know, that might be helpful for some.
I think it's huge. I had a real estate coach that said every single real estate agent needs to take acting classes, because you learn about communication, you learn about body language, you learn about, different things, mirroring and matching and that type of thing. So I think it falls right in line with that. Were you any good?
I'm very theatrical. When I get warm, when I get loose, I'll get like, so yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It was
You
fun.
had fun with it.
It was a good time.
Well, keep doing it.
Yeah, it was good. I don't know if it's helped for like my business at all, but it's definitely it helps you give a level of confidence too, like being in front of a small group and like having to be vocal, like 'cause it's all vocal, like it's all tone, it's all, you know. So yeah,
That's awesome. Love it.
Side tangent,
Guys, if you guys have questions, this is very rare because Kenny, by the way, Kenny is moving to Europe. His wife's going to be a doctor, so we're going to miss him here in a few months. And he's not usually on the show. Alejandra's obviously putting together the office. Raphael is out of town. And so if you have questions about social media and how to use social media to find opportunities, to find your buyers or just to find referrals or whatever else, you've got 22 more minutes to ask these questions, and he's the one picking them out, so make sure they're good questions, because literally I'm telling you, this guy is absolutely incredible. It's like it is a total fist fight to try to replace him, for real. But if you have questions about it, you need to know now, like how it works and how to get, I don't know. I don't even know what questions to ask, but this is the pro on the show for the next 22 minutes. So make sure that you take advantage of it. And, but getting loud on social media is important, and documenting, not just flexing. Stop flexing. I swear, if people, and I'm very serious about this, if people spent as much time on the phone calling property owners as they do on photo shoots of themselves, they would be millionaires. There are so many.
It's one reason why you were hesitant to get on social media. So like
100%.
Like when I came in, it was like Instagram's not really this place I want to be, because we don't. And if you look at your profile, it's like there's no flexing happening of your content. It's just like, here's what we do.
Yep.
Here's how to do it.
Yep.
So
yeah, and I'm telling you, that's everybody does photo. I don't understand all these photo shoots. How does everybody have photo? Like there's photo. You could go on Instagram right now. If I scroll on Instagram right now, I guarantee you 10 or 15 people that I know recently did a photo shoot. And I'm like, what is happening? How do they find the time to do this? I'm doing business. They're doing photo shoots. What is happening? I don't know what's happening. I mean, I get it. I mean, if it's like building your brand or whatever else and you got different businesses, I get it. But as a real estate investor, if somebody like did research on my acquisition managers, if you pulled up Ryan or Chad or whatever, and they were just doing photo shoots all the time and they were going on appointments for my company, that we would lose deals. I'm certain of it. I am absolutely certain of it. Wild. Something to think about for real. Jessica, any questions about social media? You need to ask them in the next 19 minutes. Jessica, I'm able to cold calls, but I don't enjoy it. Once I am able to bring in more than my expenses, would hiring a VA so I can have more of my time back be reasonable? Is there a company you prefer? Jessica, absolutely. This is what I'll tell you though. Every single million, like true millionaire, not like fake millionaire, but real asset. Like they didn't become millionaires because they bought properties and the equity, like they made like $1 million businesses, have gone through the dirt, have gone through the grind, have put in all of those tough times. Alex Hermosi, who I absolutely love his content. He's absolutely right. He went and he did 2,000 sales presentations, and now he's a 100 millionaire plus. He's going to be a billionaire at some point. And he talks about it all the time. You need to put in the hard work because then you actually know what you're talking about when you hire people. You know what you're looking for when you hire people. You have conviction to do it. And I told everybody, I've been saying this. So April 2017, I stood on stage at the Wholesaling Inc. first conference. And I talked about TTP for the first time, and nobody was doing cold calling in our industry. Literally nobody. And I'm not tooting my own horn here, but like literally there was no cold calling. It was all marketing and door knocking and bandit signs. I'm telling you, it was direct mail, bandit signs, door knocking, the radio, TV, all of that stuff. There was no cold calling. You couldn't even skip trace at the time. That didn't come out until later that year. And I went up there and I stood, and I've said that since then, and I'll say it forever. You need to have 1,000 conversations, not calls, 1,000 conversations with property owners before you hire somebody to make your calls. I did 45. Not 45, like just 45, 45,000. Years and years. And I knocked on 15,000. Well, I didn't knock on 15,000 doors. That's a lie. I probably knocked on 2,500 doors. 15,000 as a group of like 4 to 6 of us. We did it for a year and a half, knocking on doors, making the calls, talking to people since 2007 is when I started cold calling. 2007, right? That 17-year-old was, I don't even know, 2, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to put in the work. You got to build those skills. You got to know how to do it. I'm telling you, put the name up again. The last comment. It's all right. If you do this, it makes you different. I want you uncomfortable. I want you not liking it. I want you getting rejected. I want you getting like totally like back-footed, because I'm telling you, when there's market transitions, you can always rely on your skills. And when you've put in that work, you go with confidence and you can hire with confidence. With that being said, 2 companies that I suggest, calling reps. They're the virtual VAs. English is a second language, but they're very good, but they are typically in the Philippines. And then Call Motivated Sellers is the Rolls Royce. I've been with them for 4 years. Fran this year is already over $600K in income for us. One caller. And they're phenomenal, but they're not cheap. They're not cheap. But I'm telling you, get to 1,000. You're going to be a different person. When you get to 1,000 conversations with property owners, I am telling you, you're a different person. You could talk to anybody about anything. I'm an introvert. Right now, maybe. Do you have to be? Did somebody tell you that? Were you scared to talk to people when you were growing up? Me too. I talk about it all the time. I don't think I ordered at a restaurant for myself till I was like 13 years old. You know what I mean? Like, I would tell my parents, Dad, will you give me the cheeseburger? You know what I mean? Like, you get to create who you are. It's your brain. It's just the chemicals. It's just what you want to do. If you want to do marketing. I totally get it. If you want inbound calls, do inbound calls. It's just not as profitable. That's it. You just don't take as much money home. And you have to have a budget up front. If you don't have a budget, then you have to be proactive. And if you have that sliver in your brain that says, hey, listen, I am going to be a real estate investor. I'm going to be a real estate entrepreneur. I have to do this. It's just part of me. I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It broke my brain. I've been around people and they're so successful and it's real estate. And I know it's the path for me. I know it's going to change. What did Max Maxwell always say? Your family tree, your financial family tree. So powerful. If you've already made that distinction, you've got that sliver in your brain that you were going to do this business. You got to put in the work. You got to make the calls. You got to go through the fire. You got to do it. Unless you're independently, wildly wealthy, and you could just throw around money to figure it out, you got to put in. You got to be proactive. So you're going to knock doors. You're going to make calls. It's up to you. Brent, for more experienced wholesalers with a solid team and operations, what do you feel is a strong monthly gross revenue to be racking in consistent month in, month out, 100, 200, 300K? What is your monthly gross revenue? Well, the more money you make, the smaller your net is. I'll tell you, $1.5 million, you should be between 40 and 50% profitability. $1 million to $3 million, you're probably getting closer to that 25 to 35%. So you need more people. So people that have huge teams, they're at 10% profitability. Really, really, really. You can find out. I mean, you can find out what people's. If somebody's spending like that $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 a month in marketing, and they're making $1 million, it's a 10% business, and they can net $100,000, but it's a big ship to move when there's market shifts. It's a big shift to move in getting the right talent. When that talent leaves, you got to be able to be nimble. So I think that you grow this business. You have a lead manager, you have a disposition manager, you have a junior acquisition manager, and an acquisition manager, and you do anywhere between $1 million to $2 million in business every single year. You keep half of that, and then you live off of $15,000-$20,000 a month, and you pay your taxes, and you invest the rest, and then you can do whatever else you want to do. Because you got all your time. They're doing all the stuff. If you want to be your own disposition manager, you save another, 5-10%. If you want to be your own everything, you can keep all of it. And, take home 30, 40, 50,000. We got taxes, though. You got to pay taxes. So then you start buying properties to get the depreciation to help you out with that. And then you just do it over and over and over, and you do the boring work over and over and over. Repetitious boredom is your best friend. It's sitting there right there. You're like, what's up, homie? Yeah, you're boring as hell. And he's like, yeah, but I'm profitable. That's the business. The exciting part is the people that you get to hang out with. The exciting part is the deals that you get to put together. The exciting part is the sellers that you serve. The exciting part is the buyers that are like, I can't believe I got this deal, and look at it now. And I got a hug. We went to a Keegley meetup, and a deal that we sold, Daniel was there. A deal that we sold, no, it might've been Hunter. Anyway, a deal that we sold to him, he ended up making $100,000 on the flip, was able to quit his job, go full time in this business, and is absolutely blowing it up. He was like a car mechanic. He was literally like a what do they call it? Grease monkey? Are you able to say that? No? Like it was he was an auto mechanic. Now he's a full-time real estate investor. Awesome. So, 74 years old, doubtful I will be around long enough to reap the fruits of long-term buy and hold strategies. What strategies would you recommend for somebody in my position? Make as much money as you can and go bananas, Milton. Go bananas. What do you want to do? Do a deal for 20 grand, take the next 2 months off, and go to Europe. Go to Asia, go to Australia, go to South America, go crazy. Go spend a month in Tulum, Mexico, right? At the beginning of the year when it's absolutely perfect in February, and just live the life. You know what I mean? Like, do whatever you want to do. But 74, I mean, you look vibrant. You look like you've got some energy to you. So how much longer you got? 20, 30 years? Who knows? I don't know. But I would go and still provide as much service as possible. It's going to keep you a lot younger than sitting around. So go for it. Stan, how do you negotiate the price of a duplex with a seller who wants the recent appraised value? The appraised amount isn't far from market value, Pittsburgh market. Tell them to put it on the market. I mean, you need to get deals, unless he's willing to do like a seller finance or some sort of creative finance. But that's your best bet with it. So listen, you can't convince people to take less. You can't tell people what they should take for their house. You can only tell them what you're willing to offer. You're in the driver's seat. It's up to them if they agree with the value that you are giving them. Is nobody asking any social media things, or are you just not putting them up? All right.
Not really.
It's good. Bose, is there a way to JV with you if we get a deal under contract? Absolutely. Yeah. TTP Insider. TTPinsider.com. There is a JV button there. Make sure you have the deal under contract. Make sure it's a smoking deal. Make sure it's in a major market. If it's in a smaller market, we can't really help you out. If it's in a major market, Jeremy, my disposition manager, will review it. But make sure it's a real deal. Make sure if it's on Zillow and it's not in that 60 to 15% to 60% of Zillow, don't put it in there. Probably not going to get a response. Just because Jeremy's got a lot. Jeremy's on his horse right now. It's so funny. My acquisition manager, Ryan and Chad, are like, oh, so the deals are going to be easier to find? We're like, yeah, it's going to be tougher for Jeremy to sell. I go, well, he's gonna, we've got a good strong base, but yeah, he's gonna have to get on the phone. They're like, yeah, finally he has to put some work in. That's great. Hi there, Brent. Are the buyer you find on investor list still buying at the same rates, or have they slowed down? Can of corn. Yeah, Frederick. I love it. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, they're slowing down. Yeah. You know what? I don't know what's going on. I have had more complaints about people, and Jeremy's been telling us, he's like, I am getting every deal. He's telling me when he's talking to the cash buyers, he's like, listen, I need you to take me off the investor lift site, because I'm getting 15 emails a day and it's driving me crazy, and texts and all the other stuff. So, yeah, I think investor lift has to figure out how to make sure that people aren't getting too bombarded with every single deal in every single market, because it's just too much. The buyers it's getting to the point. What is that? What happens in your brain, Kenny, when you see something so many times that you like it, that you start ignoring it? Like, you're getting it so much and it's not something that you're just kind of cutting through them. Too much noise, probably too much noise.
I don't know if it's
like a white noise type of thing. It's just white noise at this moment. I worked that thing out. Man, it's in there. It's all in there. It's all in there. 11-10 SAT score, bro. You know what I'm saying? Boom. That's before the football injuries. Listen, I didn't have football injuries. I just, I caused football injuries. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes there's, echoes. Kushan, if the realtor doesn't seem to have the seller's best interest at heart, do you think it would be fine to skip trace the property and talk directly to the owner? You can, as long as you're not licensed, right? You can go direct to the property owner. The issue is they have a contract. So you gotta imagine that it's like they've already signed a purchase agreement with another wholesaler, and then you're trying to go in and backdoor it. It's the same thing if an agent has a listing. If the agent has the listing, there's a certain amount of time that they have the exclusive right to sell that. So even if they don't do a great job and the seller finds a buyer for it, they still get paid. The agent still gets paid. Now they can try to cancel it, and sometimes they're able to do that. It's a lot easier to cancel an agreement with a listing agent because they don't want you giving bad reviews. They don't want you calling the brokerage. They don't want you calling the Department of Real Estate. They don't want any of that, right? Realtors are much, tightly regulated. So they don't want any of that drama. So usually they'll cancel it. So yeah, but you have to just make sure that they are the listing is canceled. And they're really not going to like you if they find out your name, and they're going to complain about you, and they're going to go crazy. So be careful. All the realtor wants to talk about is himself and how you used to buy houses along with a hedge fund. Yeah. Those hedge fund agents that all of a sudden aren't hedge fund agents anymore. It's like they were like the quarterback in high school. It's like they're Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite, if you've ever seen that. You know what I mean? They got their van now, and they're throwing the football around, and they take videos of themselves. And but there's just the glory days are gone. What's the best way to structure agent commission when they bring an off-market property? Since they don't like the term fee, and what part should we take their commission out of the sale or assignment fee? So a couple different things here. It depends on if they have the listing or not, right, Jake? So if they've already had the listing, they have the agreement, the seller's going to pay them their commission. You don't pay them anything. All right. If they go and they're like, the best scenario is the Jamil and Monique Walker situation. Monique Walker knows she walks into a house that is in rough shape, and she's talking to the property owner, and they're like, I need to sell this so bad. And then she goes, okay, great. Let me get you a cash offer. Let me reach out to my investor. She texts Jamil. Jamil gives her an offer. She goes, this is the offer. He goes, okay. They go lock it up. Whatever Jamil sells it for, Monique makes 50-50. And in that situation, Monique did not sign up that listing. She was just representing Jamil. So Jamil pays her a buyer broker commission. to her real estate company out of the deal. So I think 50-50 with really killer agents that are going to give you 4 deals a year. And Jamil talks about this, and so does Ryan Zolan. 1 out of 300 conversations you have with an agent, you're going to get that one to be on your squad. Okay. And that squad means it's probably going to be 3 to 6 months before you see a good deal from them. But then from there, they should bring you 4 deals a year. So let's do the math there real quick, and then we'll wrap out the show. Here we go. Let's do the math. You've got 1 out of 300 agents. Okay. And that one agent is going to give you 4 deals a year. And you want 30 of those to be your squad to refer. This is exactly how Jamil built his business. And this is a combination. He built it on agents and other wholesalers, because other wholesalers didn't know how to build their cash buyer database. And a lot of them don't still. So you got 30 that are going to give you 4 deals a year. That's 120 deals a year, right? And so you got 120 deals a year. What's your marketing cost? Nothing. That's huge. Okay? So you got 120 deals a year, and I encourage everybody. Now, these deals are smaller. These deals are more like $8K to $10K. And so you're like at whatever, $1 million to $1.2 million. But you get a lot of those profits. Now, with these, obviously, you have to have an acquisition team. You got to have your disposition team. You have to have a very, very, very big cash buyer database to sell those deals. But if it takes you 30 and it takes you 300, what's Kenny? Yes. 300 times 30 is what? 9,000? Yeah. Yep. You got to talk to 9,000 agents over time. Over time. You're not talking to 9,000 agents in a year. But then you get your squad. And that's what we're doing right now. I got a relationship manager building this full time for us. Her name is Jamie, and she is an absolute savage. And it's going awesome. So that's it, guys. What a great show. Last time in here. Next time we'll be in the studio, hopefully. Matt? Working. Okay. We'll be in the studio. Thank you for joining us. We love you guys. Let's bring everybody up. Come on up. Come on up. Come on up. Daniel, get us focused and get up here. Okay. Come on. All right. Aaron, Matt, Daniel, guys, we love you. Remember, keep your house clean. Literally your house and this house, right? Protect your health and increase your value to the world, and you'll live an incredible life. I love you. I'll see you next week.